So now, I wanted just to tell you that our economy has been still very resilient. Very resilient. The world economy is growing at 3.2%. That is 2024. Sub-Saharan Africa, that is if you exclude the north, then the rest of Africa's economy grew at 3.8%. Kenyan economy grew at 4.6%. So that is still good. But for our economy to create employment and job opportunities that we desire, we need a 7% growth. So even though it is 4.6%, it is still not good enough. But it is not terrible. 2023, our economy grew at 5.3%. Now it has grown at only 4.6%. The first quarter of the year, it grew only at 5%. Second quarter, 4.6%. Third quarter was even worse at 4%. The fourth quarter, there was a rebound. We are projecting 4.7, 4.8. So generally, 4.6. That is good news, not bad news. The other good news is our inflation is managed. It is at 3.5%. Sometimes I hear people say that you are talking of inflation down. Is that really true? The question I would ask you, have you taken time to compare the cost of food items, just basic one, in February this year and February last year? Because we have the statistics. I have them here. If you want, I will share with you later. The figures are here. But have you compared with 2022? So at least inflation has been managed because of investment in agriculture and a favorable weather, because our inflation is largely driven by food items, fuel, and energy. Even if you check the prices of fuel 2022 and now, there is a reduction. The cost of electricity has also come down slightly, not so much, but slightly. Our reserves are good, so we are not scared that we cannot pay our foreign debts, because we have enough reserves to cover 4.7 months of import. That is generally very good. We have been having only 2 months cover. Now we have 4.7, which is $9 billion in reserves. Something positive again is that the interest rates, the government of Kenya has been borrowing money from you people through banks and other financial institutions, pension funds, giving government money, Beja banks, KCB, Cooperative Bank, Equity, DTB, have been giving the government of Kenya more money than they are giving the individual Kenyans, the private citizens. And they have been giving us money at very high interest rates. Up to August last year, if you are buying 91-day treasury bill offered by government, you would get interest of 16%. Thursday last week, I did not check yesterday, but I think the change is not much. Thursday last week, in so many years, only witnessed during Kibaki time, the interest rate on 91-day treasury bill was at 8.9%. Our domestic debt, our total domestic debt is 5, that is mind-boggling, 5.83 trillion. Nani anaweza hesabu trillion hapa? Ukipewa trillion kuhesabu utasahau, uanze tena, usahau mpaka ukufe kabla hujamaliza ku. So trillion ni pesa nyingi sana. 5.83 trillion. That is what? Domestic debt. Out of that, 15% is what we call treasury bills. Treasury bills are those government papers which are not more than 1 year. Yani ukikopesha serikali pesa, unalipiwa 3 months, 6 months, 12 months maximum. Those are what we call treasury bills. So those who own treasury bills in this country, the total amount is 900 billion shillings. So let's take that 900 billion shillings. If we were borrowing 900 billion shillings at the rate of August last year, interest, you will be paying serikali 140, the government would be paying you, paying all pension funds and banks and what have you, the government would be paying them 144 billion per year. If you borrow at the current rate, meaning if we retain this rate, if we manage our economy in a way that the government can only borrow at 8.9 or to 9%, if the government can borrow at 9%, the way it is today, even for a whole year, we will be paying only 81 billion shillings as interest. So 144 minus 81, we are saving 63 billion shillings. 63 billion shillings is enough to take care of all the support that we are getting from USAID. Here 63 billion can help us support CDF projects, because I know that is what, for the whole country, CDF is only 54. 63 can pay CDF of the 290 constituency for the whole year, and you still remain with 9 billion. 63 billion we can save by reducing interest rates from 16, where it was in August when I took over office, to today. If we take it to the current rate for a whole year, the money we will save out of that can pay term 1 capitation for both basic or primary school, JSS, and high school, which is only 48.8 billion. You have seen recently Equity Bank reduced interest rate by 3%, Kenya Commercial Bank by 2%, some banks, Cooperative Bank 2%, some 1%, but if it is consistent, then they will lower interest rate. And when the interest rates are low, then someone with a kiosk can go to the bank and take loan and be able to pay, especially if government is also paying pending bills. We owe 11 trillion. Hiyo ndiyo deni tuko naye, trilioni 11, 11.02 trillion. Huyo ameongeza only. Si pesa yote lazima useme only. Now this 11 trillion, 5.83 domestic debt. And then 5.09 is external debt. Okay? Actually, 5.19 is external debt. Now, domestic debt, I have told you the short term and the long term. Now, let me go to external. External, out of that 5, a cheap loan. But there is 1.09 which is owed to bilaterals. With China, 666 billion of that loan, the largest lender. Then you come to what we call commercial borrowing, which is the worst. Commercial borrowing, 1.17 trillion, out of which Eurobond, 835. The remaining one is syndicated loan, TDB, Afrexim Bank at 12%, 13%. These are loans which were taken largely between 2016, 2017, 2018, some 2019. Don't ask me what was done with that loan, because it is mind-boggling. I may not even do that audit and finish in the rest of my term. But there is another Eurobond of 900 million coming up for payment or repayment on 22nd of May 2027. 2027. Another one is coming up for payment of $1 billion in February 2028. Another one of 1.5 billion US dollars, and I'm talking about US dollars, 1.5 billion US dollars is coming up for payment 2031. Another one of 1.2 billion US dollars is coming for payment 2032. Another one of 1 billion is coming up for payment in 2034. So 2028 there is 2027 Eurobond coming up for payment. 2028 another one. 2031 only 2029 and 2030 tunapumzika. 2031 another one. 2032 another one. Tunapumzika 2033. 2034 another one. Then unapumzika from 2034 mpaka 2048. We have 200 million US dollars to pay. 200 million. You can convert into shillings. About 26 billion. The same September, there is 75 million, but not dollars, euros to pay. Then the following month, October, there is another one of $646 million to pay. If you add those three, September and October, this year, what we must pay, you can't roll it over. You unalipa. $952 million. That's about almost 130 billion shillings. Hii mwaka hii, September and October. And this syndicated loan goes up to 2030. The ones we should be paying. So what am I saying? I am saying Kenya's economy needs patience. And Kenyan economy, we need to fix it. We cannot suspend facing this economy any further. We must do it now. And doing it now is we must revamp our economy. It must grow at a higher rate. But in the process, the problem is this. You know, you are getting taxes from people to pay loan. These people you are taking money from to pay loan are not seeing the services. How will they give you their taxes? So that is the problem we have. That is why I've come to you, that the resources are constrained. But how effectively can we use the little that we have in a way that would impact in your lives so that you can help me continue retiring these loans? Now, I was suggesting this, that when we will publish finance bill, there are two things I'm going to do. Number one, before the finance bill is published, we will again publish in the newspapers the proposed finance bill and put explainer like we did in December. For each suggested amendment, if there will be, we will be explaining what it means. And then I will have, because every county has bunge la wananchi, we will have a conversation, all the counties, discuss finance bill. Then we invite people from all the 47 counties to come and have a sitting with me and tell me, in Mombasa, we have rejected this and this and this. So that when we take to parliament, we take what Kenyans have agreed on.